Welcome everyone to Everyday Passions, the show where my guests share their passion for what they do in their work on a daily basis, and how they've used that particular passion to influence or impact the lives of others. Today, I have with me today, my guest is Susan Friesen. Welcome, Susan.
Thank you for having me, Yvonne. Such a pleasure and an honor to be one of the guests on your show.
It's an honor for me as well. Thank you for being here. And before I tell you a little bit more about Susan, I'll just quickly introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. I am the client relations specialist and personal business coach, and I help leaders and decision makers grow their business by building profitable client relationships. And I like to talk about my love clients because I love to work with them and help them grow. I love to help them grow. And that's the women who are 50 and wiser, who I help to empower with the wisdom that they've gained, the experience, with their passion to grow a successful business. So let me go ahead and share a little bit about Susan with you. Susan Friesen is an award-winning web development and digital marketing firm. Her firm is eVision Media. She's the founder of that particular firm, and she's an online business specialist. She works with small business owners who struggle with having the lack of knowledge, skill, and support needed to create a profitable online business presence. So, Susan, I'm going to go right into it. What is the thing that you are most passionate about? Tell us a little bit about that first, and then I'll ask my next question.
Well, Yvonne, you and I could be sisters because we're both passionate about the same thing. And being a female business owner, I know what it's like to start off with a business and having no idea about all of the different things that are necessary in order to grow and have a successful, sustainable business. And so it's been my mission in life right from the beginning when I started the agency, gosh, almost 20 years ago, was to be that support system and that guide and that counselor, that person who can help them answer all the questions, especially when it's related to the online world, because it is a scary place sometimes. And just, it's what I offer is so much more than just building a website. It really is, offering the guidance and support and the nurturing that many female business owners lack and don't get within their inner circle. And so, yeah, that's why I'm here. That's what my passion is.
Great. I hear you say that you're a counselor as well as a guide, and I can see how that can happen, because if you're a web developer, which your company does that, then it means that you're going to have to take the time to find out what it is exactly that your client wants the website to say. Mm-hmm. What is it? How is it a reflection of them and their business? So I can see how easily it would be for you to be their guide and their counselor. And that, I imagine, is one of the things that sets you apart.
Well, absolutely. I was just having a conversation with somebody who was told that she should have a website, and she, found out about me and called me up, and I says, it's not just a website. Think of it as your storefront. If you are going to open up a new brick and mortar store, your website is the one that is, the virtual version of that. And all of the elements, all of the things, like the storefront needs to, be appealing enough for people to come in and be welcomed, and then figure out what sets them apart. What sets your store apart from the store that's next door, and the hundreds of more and thousands more that are just a Google search away. And so, yes, that's one of my specialties, is helping people figure out their brand, which is what you were describing. their
Mhm.
brand and their personality, how they want to come across as, what message do they want to convey, what are their values, so that when people do come to their website, that it's an instantaneous sense of the kind of experience they would get when they work with that particular person. Yeah.
Fabulous. And you use the phrase, the next site or the next business that's just a Google search away. And it makes me think about, I like to say, regarding customer service, customer experience, that people no longer have to get dressed to
Mhm.
purchase from your competition. They
Yeah.
can do it in their pajamas and the competitor is just a mouse click away. So exactly what you're saying, that it has to stand out. Everything that we do, whether it's online or offline, it has to stand out and show that we're different. So Susan, was there an event or something that triggered that awareness that you wanted to do this to enhance in other words, you're going to make the home on the internet for that business person stand out. Was there something in particular that triggered that?
Well, I think it was more of an evolutionary process. For me, I've been, entrepreneurship has been in my blood since I was 10 years old. And years ago, I had a craft business, and I remember feeling very, well, this is before the internet was around. And so my support system was really lacking. The encouragement was really lacking. And I just felt like I was, on this island, isolated, trying to figure it all out by myself. And so when I evolved into the web development industry, and the more because I was a female owner, I was attracting female clients, and they were kind of I was hearing the same story over and over again, that, oh yeah, so-and-so doesn't support me. I don't get any of this. I don't know what's going on. And I started to realize that I was more than just a web developer. I needed to bring all of my experience to the table and that support system. And so, the more I started to realize that, the more I embraced it, and the more I, brought it to my service offerings. So yeah, I wouldn't say other than just not having that support, as a young entrepreneur.
Well, that's critical because this is why a lot of businesses fail. And this is also why a lot of small business owners individuals start a business online and they're not able to sustain it because they don't know how to get the support and they don't feel supported. They don't know where to go and they're constantly trying. So having someone like you in their corner makes a huge difference because now they can feel like they have an anchor. They can feel like they have someone to go to, someone who has their best interests at heart.
Yeah, and that's a really good point to mention, is because, instinctively we might head to social media and ask a random question, not just from the support system, but also the how do I point of view. And the problem with going to social media asking, how do I do this, is you're going to get 100 different answers from 100 different perspectives, and it's going to be their own perspective instead of looking at it through what you need as the business owner needs. And so this is definitely where I help, where I can provide advice and expertise based on their goals, what they want to accomplish, their branding, who their ideal target audience is, and really drill down so that the answer is very specific to them instead of very general and generic that you might get, and confusing and overwhelming on top of all that because of getting 100 different answers to that one question, which is a big problem.
Yes, it is. And it's sort of like, I can remember I went to a doctor once and she said, did you already go to Dr. Google? And I'm like, who? She said, Dr. Google. And honestly, it took me about 3 times to understand what she was talking about.
Who is Dr. Google?
Who is
Yes.
Dr. Google? So,
That's so
many
true.
people, they either go to social media or they go to Dr. Google, right? And
Yeah.
as you rightly said, they're getting the information is not always complete. It might be
Yeah.
totally wrong, or if it's right, but it's right for someone else, not necessarily your situation because they don't know everything about your situation.
Yeah, and even when we take these online programs, they're very generic, and sometimes yes, it worked for that person who created the program, but that doesn't necessarily mean that would work for you. So there's a really big trap about, especially female entrepreneurs, but there's a lot of male entrepreneurs too, where we feel like we have to learn everything about marketing our business before we can even begin our business. And we end up spending thousands upon thousands of dollars on all these online programs, and we haven't actually been able to put any money into our business. So you think twice about trying to learn everything yourself, and instead hire professionals like us. You'll end up saving money in the long run, and you'll end up catapulting your business much quicker, as opposed to trying to claw along and think that you're saving yourself money by learning it all yourself, because you just can't know everything that somebody like me who's been in the industry for over 20 years knows.
That's true. And unfortunately, there's a case also of you don't know what you don't know. Because talking about websites, I remember when I first came online, of course, I've been in let's face it, I didn't come online as a novice, but when I came online, I felt like one. And I can remember the first class I was in, and the instructor said, create a landing page. And I'm like, what is a landing page? Because the language was different.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, just look at mine. And I sat down and I created it. Then after I said, how am I going to get it online?
Right.
So sometimes we don't know what we don't know. And it's good to have someone of your caliber that someone can rely on to guide them.
Yeah.
And of course, they're coaches.
Yeah. Sorry, go
They're
ahead.
coaches and mentors and consultants and so forth. All of those can help. But the point is having someone who has the experience guide you, can shorten the curve so that, and we have to learn to look at these things as an investment rather than an expense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just like as if you were opening up a brick and mortar store. You're not going to open it up and not pay any bills and wait for money to come in before you pay for the rent and all the expenses. So it's the same thing. Yeah.
Yes. So you have spoken a lot about how you impact others. Is there anything else you'd like to share to say? Since COVID, we've had a lot of new entrepreneurs, new solopreneurs, as well as sometimes we have some who have been in the business for quite a while, but they want to go in a different direction. Yeah. What advice would you have for individuals like these?
Well, I think the advice would be the same as what you and I have been talking about, is instead of trying to learn it all yourself and do it all yourself, and you end up wasting time, energy, and money, and you get frustrated and you don't end up with the same results that you were promised. Seek out somebody to help you with not just the advice, but also to do the work for you, and be prepared to make it a business investment. And unless you are looking at this as a hobby and you have 10 years to get it all right, then go ahead. But do look at it as a business. I think that's probably the best thing that I could say is don't get caught up in what the gurus are saying, that you can be a millionaire in 6 months if you just follow their 10-step program. That is a fallacy. That's just the probability of that happening is 1 in 1 billion. So don't fall into those traps. Their way of making money is to get money from you. And they don't care one bit whether you succeed or not. And so, just be careful. Be careful about the do-it-yourself route, and don't think of it as saving money by trying to do it yourself, because like you said before, you just don't know everything that you need to know about branding and how to come across, and copywriting and marketing and websites. I mean, the list is endless. And so
it is, because even in the branding, even just as you know, as I'm sure you've gone over and over many times, even just to design a logo, there's just so much information you need from the person to understand exactly what is this logo supposed to reflect.
You got it, and you nailed it right on. The color theory, there's so much strategy that goes on behind the creation of a logo, that even if you're a creative person, don't try to do your own logo yourself.
Okay, well said.
Period. That's it.
Well said and enough said. That was really good. And it's something that we have to kind of try to repeat, because also something you said about the gurus, Susan, is that the fact that many of them, besides the fact that they're making money off of your investment in something that will not necessarily work for you, there are some genuinely good ones.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
They don't tell you that they spent thousands of dollars, years of making mistakes to get to the point where they finally are.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I talk a lot about, pulling the curtain and revealing the truth behind a lot of what goes on. And yeah, it's just like for me and for you, we've been in this industry for many, many years. We bring with us a lot of mistakes and a lot of learning curve. And I would not be able to put together a program to fulfill everything that I know. And so keep in mind, yes, there are some amazing programs out there. And also keep in mind that it's impossible to go really, really deep. It might be enough to get you started and know enough to know that, okay, what's my next step? But just tread carefully and do your research.
Yes, and with that, you've covered quite a bit, and I appreciate your being here and sharing all this valuable information that can benefit small business owners, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs at whatever level they're at. So Susan, if we want to get in touch with you, anyone wants to get in touch with you, how can we do so? And whatever you share with me, whatever you share with me, I will go ahead and put it below this, the recording once we're done.
Yeah, you know what? I would say just go to our website, evisionmedia.ca, and explore what's possible for you and as how me and my team can support you as a business owner. We do have a free report that's on the website as well that you can sign up for, and you'll get onto our weekly newsletter list where we send a really in-depth informative articles that help small business owners, make their way through this landscape of the ever-changing marketing world, especially since COVID. Marketing has definitely changed as a result of that. And so it's my mission in life to help educate people and share what I know so that I can help the path that you're on be a little bit easier and less challenging. So yeah, just go to our website, evisionmedia.ca, and you'll find out more information there.
Excellent. And thank you so much for being here today. You are an awesome guest. You have shared wonderful information. And I encourage everyone to visit evisionmedia.ca. That's eVision, not Envision, but evisionmedia.ca. And I will put that in the chat.
Awesome.
Susan, thank you so much and have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you to our viewers and our listeners for being here with us live. And if you watch the replay, please go ahead and type in #replay. This will also be uploaded to my YouTube channel, and it will be Susan will be sharing this on her profile, and it will also be on my profile. So thanks again, everyone. See you next time.
Thank you, Yvonne. Bye, everybody.
You're welcome.